Your specific person just felt a surge of emotions thinking of you. So yes, you can watch this video and expect a call tomorrow, which at first might sound a little crazy, but it goes in with today's topic of being delusional, because at first, everyone thinking of being delusional, it usually has a negative connotation, right? When we think or describe someone as being delusional, we mean that they were thinking upon something that should be impossible. But when it comes to manifestation, being delusional is one of the best things that you can do, because as always, we need to remember manifestation and the law of assumption is all about assuming as if we already have what we desire. And I'm going to completely get rid of any thought process that being delusional in manifestation is ever a bad thing. And as I mentioned, then after watching this video, I would expect that call tomorrow, because you're going to be able to act this out and totally live and feel as if you are already with your specific person. And so let's dive into the idea of being delusional. What does it feel or mean to be delusional? So something that is delusional is just something that doesn't align with our current state as it is. So if you feel as if you're being single, then being delusional might feel like you are acting or feeling as you are in a relationship. But if you take a moment and really think about how we just worded that, we'll realize that being delusional is the same thing with being logical. So what is logical is only aligning with your state as it is. So what is logical for one person is not logical for the other. It's logical for you in your end state when you are married to your specific person to be and receive messages, receive phone calls, go on dates, go on your honeymoon, all of that. That's logical to the version of yourself that already has your specific person. But if you feel as the individual who doesn't, then it's no longer logical. But people usually use the thought process or term of being logical as meaning something that is fact. But we do the same thing when it comes to being delusional. When you are being delusional, it's just because it's not aligning with your current state. Being delusional would be you feeling as if you are single and expecting to be married to your specific person tomorrow, or expecting a phone call. So then the only time being delusional seems to be negative is when we aren't aligning our state along with it, because it is not delusional for you in your end state when you're already married to your specific person to receive a text, to receive a call, to go on dates, to go on your honeymoon, to literally get married. Like, that isn't delusional at all. It actually makes the most sense. So whenever we are thinking that we are feeling delusional, then what we really want to do is focus on our state before we continue doing exactly what we are doing, because then it's our state that's not aligning. It has nothing to do with your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions, your assumptions, because those would all be good. Because if you are feeling delusional when you are acting and thinking upon your end, then it means you are making a massive shift to your internal state that doesn't currently align with where you feel the most comfortable, which again is very good if we are switching from a state of being single into a state of being in a relationship. But to say that you shouldn't do it because it feels delusional doesn't make any sense, because we want to change what we feel to be familiar or natural. Because again, something that feels delusional is just something that doesn't feel natural or habitual or familiar in the current moment. But if we have previously been in the state of being single and have the desire for a specific person, then we want to feel a little delusional during the process, because we need to shift out of those previous negative thoughts or previous states of not being in a relationship. And I actually want to give you a Neville Goddard quote that supports this a lot. So he wrote, "You have become so enmeshed in the belief that you are man that you have forgotten the glorious being that you are. Now with your memory restored, decree the unseen to appear, and it shall appear. For all things are compelled to respond to the voice of God, your awareness of being. The world is at your command." Think about that. In this state, we are totally forgetting the thought process of being delusional is totally forgetting that you have the ability to create and have whatever it is that you want right now. You are decreeing things to be in your reality based on your assumptions, right? So he wrote your awareness of being. That is what is causing things to be in your reality. So again, when we say something is delusional, it's just because we're not currently in the state of it. And so if you're feeling delusional, more delusion, the better actually, because that's how you're going to quantum leap from one state to another. We just have to make what feels delusional very natural and very familiar to us. And to support this idea even further, I want to give you an example from a coaching session that someone sent to me. So I'll put it up on the screen, and here's what they wrote. They wrote, "Kyle, you're the GOAT." So they said it, not me. I blurred out some personal information because I didn't want this to be linked back to them. But I asked my SP to join me for a movie tomorrow for a current event, And he said yes. And then asked me to join him for a movie tonight. I had to say no, but what the what? Manifestations come to fruition, baby. I cannot thank you enough. Everything I want is already mine. So just look at that individual. That's the expression, that's the feeling you're going to have when you start manifesting exactly what you desire, because it's going to seem absolutely out of this world, right? The thought of your specific person texting you, asking you out for a movie right here, right now may seem delusional, but it is not for a state. And so we just need to find that state that doesn't feel as if it is delusional. And that's the state we want to stay in. That's the state we want to be habitual, natural to us. That's the state we basically want to live in and act out every single moment of the day. Now, I mean, you don't have to be like totally conscious in this idea, because just literally doing what you feel or think would be delusional in the moment is going to help you with changing states massively. And I can't tell you this enough, because again, remember, delusion and logic are the same thing. They're just connected to the state. It is not delusional for you in your end state, for your specific person to be blowing up your phone. So even imagine the version of you that your specific person finds irresistible and who obsess over you, right? It makes actually the most sense. It would be kind of weird and delusional if they weren't texting you, right? And so we always want to keep that in mind. So don't feel as if being delusional is a negative or a bad thing. I think sometimes, again, people kind of use that term in a negative sense, or they'll tell you when you're trying to change your reality, you're being too delusional, but there is actually no such thing as too delusional, just a state that is a way of being that isn't aligned with what we currently are. That's the only difference. And so that's exactly what I want you to do today. Be as delusional as humanly possible, right? Think and act from your end. Literally act, feel, live as if you've already received exactly what you desire. And like I mentioned, you do this, you watch this video, expect that call tomorrow. Expect that movie date with your specific person, just like that person did in my coaching session. If you did have any questions on this at all, make sure to leave them in the comment section below. Remember, you can also reach out to me if you want to send me a personal question at kyleaugustcoaching.com. As always, thank you so much for stopping by today. If you absolutely love this video and you are going to act right here and right now as if you already have your specific person, make sure to leave a thumbs up, and then don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. Again, thank you so much for stopping by today, and I'll see you in my next video tomorrow.